The honourable member for Caribou Prince George.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the honourable member from Spadina, Fort York for his comments and for sharing with us and sharing with the House his experiences on this. You mentioned, the honourable member mentioned a number of times about trust, about getting it right. You know, with a decision and legislation that has the gravity, that bears the gravity of what we're discussing today, I think all of us, again, I'll go back to it, the time that we're spending in discussing this is not a debate, it's discussing, trying to make sure that we're getting it as close to right as possible. And the balance of power rests on that side of the House, Mr. Speaker. And I would think that the public and perhaps those down the street in the Supreme Court can see that we are having those discussions, and that at this point, if the government went across the street and said, we need more time, I would hazard that they would allow that. And so whether it's a notwithstanding clause or just asking for another extension, would the honourable colleague across the way at least say that true leadership would be asking for a little bit more time for us to have this great discussion?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister.
Well, I was in the House last term when we moved a motion as in opposition to speed this debate up to give us that time, and that was defeated. And so I don't think that it's our privilege now, having already gone to the Supreme Court and asked for an extension, to prolong other people's suffering. I think we have a responsibility to act. This issue has been in front of us for a lot longer than the bill has been in front of us, and the committee that took and did extraordinary work exploring this issue and laying the groundwork for the legislation has spent time, and there was work done in the previous Parliament, although not nearly fast enough. But the issue, I think, is this: is that we have to accept as parliamentarians that we do not produce perfect legislation. We never will. We're just people trying to give it our best effort. And on this bill, where a free vote has been offered to all parliamentarians on our side of the House, and I assume on the others, we're in a position of trying to make this work. And the deadline we've been given by the Supreme Court is the right decision. It's time to act, and it's time to end the suffering for some and provide clarity for others. And so I don't think the responsible thing to do is to ask for a delay. I think we must make a decision, and then we must revisit this issue when problems arise again, because as surely as we stand here today, they will.